In this video, I'm going to be talking about an ancient traditional Hawaiian practice called the Ho'oponopono. Now, this is a very powerful prayer that is used where 4 key phrases are repeated in order to promote healing. And it's based on the belief that when we hold on to negativity, we create an imbalance in our life. And so it's bringing harmony and balance back in where we seek out forgiveness and we give ourselves the love and the compassion that is needed in order to be able to move forward in a way where we can not only find harmony and peace, but we can also find our true calling and purpose. So how does the Ho'oponopono prayer go? So it involves repeating 4 key phrases, and they go: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So that is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. This is a very, very powerful prayer, a very powerful practice. So now I'm going to jump into the 4 key phrases of the Ho'oponopono, how you can use it, my interpretation, and how this can also help lead you to finding your purpose. So the first key phrase of the Ho'oponopono is, I'm sorry. Now, I'm sorry is not about doing something wrong, or you're sorry for doing what you've done wrong, if that's the way you're looking at something. It's more about addressing your responsibility of why you are where you are at this given time. So it's about the negativity that you have held onto without being able to move forward. So it's you taking a negative experience and making it positive, whereas you may have had a negative experience and therefore kept it as a negative, which has stopped growth from happening and healing. And so it's taking responsibility for everything in your reality and knowing that it's more about your perception and the way you want to perceive it rather than actually what it is that you have done. So I'm sorry for keeping myself in a situation where I haven't allowed myself to let go and see that this has been an opportunity for growth and healing, and no longer want to hold on to these negative thoughts that are keeping me stuck and stagnant. So I'm sorry is the first phrase of the Ho'oponopono. Now let's jump into number 2. Now the second phrase of the Ho'oponopono is, please forgive me. Now this is a really important one, and this follows on from I'm sorry, because I'm sorry is addressing the issues, taking responsibility for where we're at, and please forgive me is about the self-compassion that we need in order to propel our healing forward. Now, when we identify ourselves, a lot of the time we tend to identify with the things that we have done. So one of the phrases that I like to use as part of this phrase would be, I am not my behavior. Okay, that's really important. I am not my behavior. Okay, because when we identify ourselves through our behavior, then we stay stuck in that moment in time. We are not in that moment of time. We have moved on. We are in the present right now. And so what we have the opportunity to do is to understand that anything that we have done is just an opportunity for growth. And so when we can now look back and ask for forgiveness, and if you are feeling uneasy about anything that you identify yourself with, then that's just an indicator that it doesn't align with you. So when you hold on to that, so let's just say you've done something in your past, or you've said something, whatever it is, and there's something about it that just niggles at you. It's something you can't let go of. It's something that brings you deep sadness or shame. What that does is it puts you in a lower vibration. And that lower vibration will keep you in a perpetuating cycle of negativity where you can't get out. And so you're in this cycle of pain all the time. And so part of Please Forgive Me is recognizing that you are not what you have done, but you are what you now choose to be and how you want to move on from that. So by seeing that as an opportunity to understand that there's growth in that, there's learning in that, it will help you move forward. Now, when we think of compassion, compassion is something that we learn throughout our life. We see people in suffering, we can see people that are going through difficult situations and challenges, and we can have compassion, we can feel for them. But to have self-compassion, that takes true mastery. And the reason why is because self-compassion is about coming from a place where you can see love in everything. And so when you see love in everything, it means that you can embody that. It means that you emit that out into the world. And so when you are just in a place of compassion for others, you can have compassion. You can feel sorry for what they're going through. But it doesn't mean that you can help them. But when you have self-compassion and you yourself are embodying that energy of love and peace, you naturally emit that out, which then emits out into the world. And that creates love here where we are, all around you, everywhere you go, or just out into the world. And that emits out to everyone. And so when you have self-compassion, which is really the key to self-mastery, you learn to trust yourself, because you know that you will only make a decision based on what brings you peace and is the most loving decision for you. And so when you know and you trust yourself that in every situation and in every decision that you make, you are always coming from a place of peace and love, then you learn to trust others. You learn to trust life, and you learn to trust any situation that you are now put in or faced with. When we are in trust, we are not afraid of consequences because we trust ourselves, which means that now we can trust others. We can trust any situation we're in because we trust ourselves to always make the most peaceful and loving decision for ourselves. And that is the key to trusting others. The antidote is to trust yourself. So I do want to just say, as a little side note here, that if this is something that you're finding difficult and you do have trust issues, let that be an indicator to you that if you are finding it hard to trust others, that there is a lack of self-compassion that you are having for yourself at this time. So this can be a really good way for you to be able to try and integrate that and work on that and use this prayer, this practice as a way to bring that healing back, that seeking that forgiveness for yourself. So when we also have self-compassion, we don't need to seek anything outside of ourselves. We don't need to seek validation. We don't need to seek love because we have it, and we don't just have it, but we embody it. We are it. Be the change you want to see in the world. You can't expect to live in a world of the change you want to see if you yourself are not embodying it. So that is the second phrase of the Ho'oponopono, please forgive me. Now let's jump into number 3. Now, the third phrase of the Ho'oponopono is thank you. Now, thank you is about expressing gratitude. And as I always say, gratitude is the best attitude. So one of the phrases that I really love to use for this is happening for me, not to me. This is about having gratitude for everything before you and being able to be in the present. Here we can understand and acknowledge the potential that we have and the opportunities that we have for growth. Now, if we don't know how to be in the present moment, it's very hard for us to have gratitude because we are always living back in the past, in our conditioning. We are holding on to things that we need to allow ourselves to let go of. And so it's very, very hard sometimes to have gratitude in the everyday now, in the everyday present, if we are not allowing ourselves to be in it. And so when we can have gratitude, it means we are bringing ourselves into alignment, into the present moment of now. And we are allowing ourselves to see that in every opportunity, there is something to be grateful for. There is a lesson, there is growth, there is something there for us if we allow ourselves to be able to see it that way. So it's about the way we are perceiving the world rather than how we are believing it to be. And it is often the most challenging obstacles that we hit in our life that create the most change. And so if we can allow ourselves to have gratitude for everything that comes our way and every situation that we are in, we will be able to find harmony and peace moving forward. So now let's jump into phrase number 4 of the Ho'oponopono. Now the fourth phrase of the Ho'oponopono is I love you. This is an extension of our love. This is what we emit out. This is what we want to embody. This is what we want to be and to give and receive. And so when we can say, I love you, we are fulfilling all the other phrases. We are finding and seeking forgiveness. We are letting go of negativity. We are being grateful and have gratitude for the present moment and for all the things that come our way and all the people and all the opportunities that are presented to us for self-growth. Because this is an internal journey. And what I mean by that is our internal emotional world is always going to reflect outwardly as our external world. This helps us cultivate love and compassion towards ourselves. So healing ourselves will indirectly heal our external world because it is a reflection of who we are. And so you can see this just by the way that certain circumstances are coming to you, certain obstacles, certain people. What are they showing you? Be open to that. Be in the present. Have gratitude for it. That's how we learn. That's how we take every opportunity and use it as a tool for growth. And so we are taking responsibility for how we are being in one situation and how we want to see it. We are having forgiveness for being able to see the bigger picture and see the opportunity of how we can now move forward. And we are having gratitude in the present moment of what this is showing us. And then we are giving ourselves the love and the self-compassion we need in order to create balance and harmony in our life, where we can now move forward with love and in peace. So when we have self-love, then we have a healthy self-image, which means that when we are coming from that place, we don't need to manipulate or be distrustful. We don't need to try and control the external world. to be able to seek something that we're looking for, that we lack within. We have that. And so when we have that for ourselves, we can have that for others. And that's where the love part comes in. It's the extension of love. It's the extension of what we are out into the world. And that now becomes our reality. Okay, and so being in that present moment, that is where the beauty of life really is. It's in the unknown. Beauty is in the unknown. And when we are coming from a place of conditioning, we are in a place of fear, which means we are also in a place of control. And so we are trying to control our external world, the way things are going to plan out. We start having attachment to outcomes, and therefore we perpetuate suffering. And so we are not putting ourselves in a place of love. We are putting ourselves in a place of fear. And so we miss the importance of what's happening before us, to take the possibilities and the opportunities to be able to grow from them. We miss being in the present and having the gratitude because we are now in fear, and we are now missing that chance to be able to just be in that present moment, be in love, be free, and enjoy what's coming to us in that unknown. When we are looking through the filter of love, because that's what we are embodying, then everything becomes that. What our conditioning does, and all the trauma and the pain and the hurt that we carry with us throughout our life, that acts as a filter. So it's like having a pair of sunglasses on that have a blue tint. And so everything that you see before you is tinted blue. But someone else may be wearing red tinted glasses, and through those red tinted glasses, everything appears red. And so that's how you can see your conditioning. How are you looking at things? Because however you're looking at things is just a filter. It's not necessarily your reality. And the Ho'oponopono helps you get back to reality. It helps you take the filter off and really see what's before you. How does this play into finding our purpose? This is one of the biggest questions that people ask themselves. What is my purpose? And sometimes we can overthink it because we think it may have to be something really grand and big that we're doing out in the world, when really it isn't. Purpose is being present. In the present moment, you will find everything that you are in search for. But you have to be able to be in it to be able to receive it. So your purpose doesn't have to be anything grand or big. Everyone is purposeful. If you're here, you hold a purpose. Just existing, you hold a purpose. But the biggest purpose that we can have is to be in alignment with our authentic true self, because that is when we embody love and peace. And when we embody that, we become that, and we emit that out into the world. And so we have an effect on people without even realizing it. And that's why when someone walks into the room and they're raging with anger, you can feel it, that expression of you can cut the tension with a knife, because you can feel the energy. And this is what we're doing here. We are creating, we're all co-creating the world we live in. And that's why you have to embody it in order to be able to see it. So when it comes to your purpose, if you are in the present moment, it means that you are exactly where you are meant to be, because you are now open and receptive to everything that is an opportunity for you to move forward and for growth. And so when you're following that path, you will naturally, effortlessly bring forward to you everything that is meant for you, because whatever is meant for you will never pass you by. And you have to trust that. You have to trust that. And trust is a big part of this prayer, of this practice. It's trusting in yourself. And trust is about self-compassion and love and seeking the forgiveness that no longer serves you, that takes you away from this present moment to find your purpose and being on this journey of where you are meant to be going. But on our road of purpose and discovery and happiness and peace and love, we have to remember that it is not about creating a life where we don't have obstacles and challenges. That's not what it's about. This journey is about being able to embrace all the challenges and all the obstacles that we face along the way, but being able to find peace within them. So if you are still here watching this video, thank you so much for joining me. And this would be a huge indicator that you are already on your healing journey. So I wish you all the very best. I'm sending you so much love.